Hey y'all, happy Sunday evening here in Texas. It's me, Myra, again. I was thinking about finances today. The way I grew up, in poverty, paycheck to paycheck, sometimes not even paycheck to paycheck. We were on government assistance for a while once my mom and dad separated. And I was just thinking, you know, what, how does that all work? I mean, how do you just live paycheck to paycheck? You know, how do we grow up? What do we do? My grandparents on my dad's side had rent houses. You know, I don't know a whole lot about what my grandpa Moore did growing up. You know, when you're a kid, you don't ask those questions until you're older and they're gone. You're like, I should have asked Grandpa this, or I should have asked Grandma that, or Mama this. Why didn't I ask Mama that? When I had the chance, or Papa. You know, but we're young and we don't we don't think about such things, right? We're just living our life. We're kids, playing with our cousins and all that. But I know that my grandma and grandpa had money. I mean, they weren't rich by any stretch of the imaginations. They lived, as far as I could tell, humble, humble life. Their house wasn't fancy in Duncanville, but they had money and they bought us Christmas gifts and that sort of thing. I didn't know their part of their struggle, you know. Did they have money when they first got married? I don't know. I said I never asked that. Not that I know, no one ever told me they struggled or not. But then, when we grew up, my sister and I grew up, dad worked, you know, um, drove a bus for Dallas area rapid transit or DART, drove a record drive, was a record driver. He worked in a plant, Owings, Illinois, there in Dallas, Duncanville line with some of my uncles. But anyway, I was just thinking, what that I was doing some research as well, and it said that 95% of people that were born and raised in poverty will stay in poverty. I thought, it does make sense. I mean, we weren't taught how to stay out of debt, you know, how to make more money, how to make our money work for us instead of us working for our money. My mom worked until she couldn't work anymore. She became, totally blind. So, she worked, jobs here and there at the school, um, in the cafeteria. She was a nurse's aide back in the day, in the 70s, stuff like that. But we always seemed to live paycheck to paycheck, never had enough money, like I said. So I was just thinking, well, why? Why didn't that the money that my grandpa earned from rent houses and having rent houses, it's not just easy money. I remember my dad and uncles going over and helping my grandpa with some of his rent houses, painting and repair and that sort of thing. My dad was a licensed journeyman plumber, so he would go over and help my grandpa, and my other uncles as well. But why is it that people in poverty tend to stay in poverty? And of course, there's exceptions to every rule. Not everyone in my family stayed in poverty, you know, but some of us did, grew up in poverty. Like I said, paycheck to paycheck, you know, not enough, as my pastor says, not enough money at the end of the week or the month, you know. So it just had me doing some research. And I found that even the schools don't teach about money, about saving money, earning money, investing in money, the IRAs and your 401ks and all that. They don't even show you how to balance a checkbook. And one of the things I came across was saying that schools just teach that you, once you leave college or once you leave high school or whatever, you're just supposed to work a 9 to 5, whatever, a full-time job, 30, 40 years, draw your pension, draw your 401k or whatever, and that's what your life's supposed to be about. But on the other flip of the coin, that rich people, or I should say money successful people, tend to raise money successful children, and they pass it on. Well, just the same way as poverty, like I said, there's rules to everything, and there's exceptions to every rules and all that, but some in our family, I'm just talking from experience, my dad did not teach us girls, me and my sister, how to manage money. And so all our lives we haven't managed money. And I just thinking, why didn't I learn? So it's just personal to me, not anyone else. Why didn't I learn to manage my money? It was always, if you have money, just spend it. You can't take it with you when you go. He never said those things, but he just didn't show us another way. And I'm pretty certain that he was probably taught how to manage his money. My grandpa, like I said, he was successful, in owning homes, other people, for other people to rent, in the Dallas area. And I was just, why did my dad live the way he lived? We stayed in poverty, or, that poverty line was real close, and why didn't he teach my sister and I, especially me, it's just for myself, not really my sister, but for me, how to manage our money and how to make our money work for us and not work for the money. Why to this day, sometimes I struggle, financially. Why do I struggle? And I have that same mindset. I have money, let's go spend it. Let's do this with it or that with it. Why even at almost 60 years old am I still having that mindset? You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's got me thinking a lot here lately, especially going through this course that I've just taken. And I actually just got through reviewing some things. I had questions kind of in my head about. I just went back through and watched a few videos and stuff like that. And one of it talked about the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And I actually read it when I went to through the course, the 15-day challenge. And it made a lot of sense. And he talks about why the rich stay rich and the poor stay poor. It's, if you haven't read it, it's on, all the platforms, I'm sure, it may be worth it to you, if you have questions kind of like I do about concerning money and how you're raised and where you go from here type of thing. It'd be beneficial to you to check it out. I also did some research about, 0 to 7 on up, growing up. So, and I found that an infant through a 7-year-old learns things basically just by watching, being taught. And he uses the word hypnosis. I don't know if I would use the word hypnosis as far as, that, but, we teach our kids, do this, do that, You know, don't do this, don't do that, you know, safety reasons, or teaching them about what they need to do, that sort of thing. And then after the age of 7 on up, it's all repetition. You know, put your cup in the sink, you know, clean your room. I mean, it's a daily or a weekly or a monthly thing, you know what I mean? You know, Johnny, you know, take the trash out, you know, it's Tuesday, it's trash day, da 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 da. You know, it's all repetition. So when they grow up, they know, okay, it's my trash night. I gotta take the trash out, or I gotta put my dishes in the sink. I gotta wash the dishes. I gotta go to work. I gotta get a paycheck. I mean, it's that sort of thing. It's all repetition from 7 years of age on up. So how do we train ourselves, you know, to, as poverty goes? That's just an example that I'm using because that's what I'm doing the video on, and what I'm thinking and research on is affirmations. You know, I am going to get out of debt. I'm not going to be spending the money, or I'm going to do better with my money, stuff like that. And repetition over and over and over again creates a habit. So just like if you quit smoking, for instance, I've never smoked but one cigarette in my life. That was in 7th grade. Won't do it again, but I did it, and you know, it's over. But to break a habit is the same as doing a habit. Okay, so breaking a habit, you know, they say it takes, you know, repetition over and over and over to break a habit. The same as creating a habit. So in my case, I'm talking about finances right now, money, that sort of thing. Repetition, repetition, repetition. You know, keep doing the same thing. It's causing you good results. Keep doing it. You're going to have greater results by keep doing the same thing, positive, not negative, over and over and over. So I just wanted to share a little bit about, you know, what I'm researching today, you know, the whys, you know, that sort of thing. But I would like to share the opportunity with you before I end this video of the $7 15-day challenge. Not even, you know, even if you're not looking to even start a business, even reading the Rich Dad Poor Dad, Rich Dad Poor Dad will definitely open your eyes to some of the reasons why we do what we do, especially generation to generation. You know, ideally, you know, my grandpa, you know, passed down ways to make his money work for him, and he did that by having to rent houses. And like I said earlier, I'm sure he probably taught my dad, you know, how to make money work for him. I hope he did. I don't have any proof that he did or did not. But, you know, I would like to break the generational curse in my own family. You know, my daughters and my son. My son's doing really, really well, as far as I can tell, you know. But I would just like to say I really should have done a better job for myself. You know, growing up, as I became an adult, you know, I've had a really good career in radiology for 33 years, and, you know, I should have done better with my money, you know, than I have done in the past, you know. But I would like to have my grandkids have money, teach my grandkids about money, you know, break that generational curse, like I said. But I hope this reaches someone that really needs to change, or learn how to change, break a generational curse. And if I can help in any way, just reach out. I said I would love to share the opportunity with you as far as the 15-day challenge. But thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.